It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I'm Des Clark and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Joining me are four of the best comics around. On my right we have Athena Cook-Blenu and Scott Agnew, and facing them are Stuart McPherson and Julia Sutherland. In the news this week, Edinburgh Zoo has been named by TripAdvisor as the best zoo to visit in Scotland. It beat out Five Sisters Zoo in West Lothian, now known as Four Sisters Zoo, after an incident with the tigers. The Scottish Government is ditching its flagship target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 75% by 2030. Yes, the country's main environmental goal is now just to put the recycling bin out on the right day. And Germany's rail network has unveiled passenger accommodation dubbed the Smooch Cabin, with frosted glass windows for increased privacy. ScotRail considered adopting this for Scottish trains, but didn't think Winch and Windy sounded quite as romantic. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Athena and Scott, can you tell me what this is all about?
Plans to ban anyone from
paying hush money to an adult film star
have passed their first stage in the House of Commons.
It was thought the process could take weeks as
57 Conservatives voted against the measures
due to impartiality concerns. But by the end of yesterday's session, 7 had been chosen.
Among them, the Trade Secretary, Kemi Badenoch.
Well, it's all going on this week. Scott, any thoughts as to what our first story might be?
I think the first one was one of Trump's legal issues, shall we say. Man's got more legal issues than Judith Chalmers had holidays. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, the start of Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York this week saw dozens of the prospective jurors dismissed after they admitted they couldn't be impartial. Mr. Trump has become the first US president, current or former, to go on trial in a criminal case. He is charged with falsifying business records to conceal a hush money payment to an adult film star. He dismissed the case as a scam and a political witch hunt. Some observers are saying that when it comes to Donald Trump and his election chances, Stormy Daniels could finish him off. Oh, well done for getting the right answer, Scott. So what do you think then? What did you make of the former president's historic day in court?
Well, first of all, I thought Stormy Daniels was a new nickname for Dens Park.
Can he be? Nobody scored there.
But the man is herpes in human form, right? He is always in the system, right? He can flare up at any time, right? Come back.
Athena, what did you make of this?
He's in court. It suits him, though, doesn't it? Like, maybe that's why he goes all the time. Court looks good on Donald Trump, you know. I look good in H&M. It's my price point, you know. It's like, when I go to, like, Fendi and Chanel, I look like an idiot. And I go to H&M, I was 15 quid for a sweater. I look good in here. Court looks good on Donald Trump. And that's why he's committing all these crimes. He's like, I've got to be here. It looks good on me.
Maybe that's what it is. A bit of a fashion statement for him.
Exactly.
There you go.
He's so comfortable that he fell asleep. Did you see that? He fell asleep in the courtroom. Who falls asleep in the court? Do you know how much I'll be sweating if I'm ever in court going, oh my God, they're going to send me to jail? He's like, man, who cares? an incredible character.
That did happen, yeah. He was kind of jolting himself back up.
Like he's at home watching the telly. I couldn't believe it.
I'm just surprised the judge didn't point at him and say, you're tired.
But it was kind of funny, like, you know, if you missed the story, like, they were in court and the jurors, they kept dismissing them because it wasn't possible to be impartial about him. Like, it was just all day long people stand up and telling him to his face what a weapon they think he is. And I found myself relating to Donald Trump for the first time in like 10 years because, well, that's also how it feels to do the Edinburgh Fringe as a comedian. Be in a room of 60 people that all hate you and want to leave.
Who do you put? Who serves in that jury? Right, because you can't have blacks, Asians, Mexicans, Muslims, disabled people, gay people, transgender people, women, university and college graduates, entertainers, journalists, Taylor Swift, her boyfriend, Melania, right? Yeah, Jeannie Godley. They're all out. Right? There's no way any of them are going to be able to get up and be impartial.
All I've been thinking about is Stormy Daniels. Every time I see the name Stormy Daniels, I'm like, oh, because that's obviously her. She's an adult porn star. And, you know, it's like, how did she get that name? You know, like they say, you get your porn name by the name of your first pet and, like, the street that you lived on. I'm like, what did she use? What formula did she use? Like, your favourite weather and, like, your favourite British magician. Like, and I was like, but does that work? You know, and I was like, you know, Sonny Dynamo, it tracks. You know what I mean? Like, it works, guys.
Sonny Dynamo.
Yeah.
That sounds quite good, actually, yeah.
Snowy Great Soprendo. Like, come on, guys. You can all join in. It's fun for all the family.
I heard the name the Great Soprendo in many, many years.
Yeah.
This is, of course, a unique trial. It's the first time the defendant has sworn on a Bible, then signed it and tried to sell it to the judge. Oh, well done, Athena and Scott. You get 2 points for that. It was, of course, Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York. And now it's your turn, Stuart and Julia. What was the other story we were after?
The smoking ban?
Yeah, good
Rishi's
answer.
smoking ban?
Well spotted, yeah. A ban on smoking for future generations moved a step closer this week as the bill passed in the House of Commons. But Rishi Sunak suffered a blow to his authority after dozens of Conservative MPs voted against it. The proposals would make it illegal to sell tobacco products to anybody born after the 1st of January 2009, with the Prime Minister hoping to create a smoke-free generation. Many Tory MPs are worried that banning cigarettes will set a dangerous precedent, as they don't know how the party will make policies without fag packets to write them on the back of. Well done on getting the right answer, Julia. Thoughts then, what do you make of this bill?
Well, I'd say don't underestimate Rishi's ability to put teenagers off doing things that look cool. Look at the success he's had with Adidas Sambas. That's all I can say.
The vape thing worries me more, the vape ban that we're bringing in next year, because I don't know if anyone in this room's been on any Scottish high street in the last 5 years. But that is what 100% of our shops are now. And I feel like I'm the only person concerned about what's going to happen when this law comes in and we close every shop in the country. It's going to be like when they close the shipyards again.
You're right, it could be the collapse of the high street.
Yeah.
Athena, what do you make of this bill?
Well, they're doing it to save, well, one of the reasons it's to save the NHS money, right? Apparently it's going to save the NHS literally billions of pounds every year. But what am I supposed to do when I'm waiting 8 hours for an ambulance if I'm not allowed to smoke? It just seems a little bit unfair.
This is going to horrify you, Athena. But genuinely, I managed to give up for about 8 months. And the last cigarette I had was whilst I was waiting my mother to take me up to A&E. Whilst I was having a heart attack, I better smoke this now. It might be a while before I get another one, right?
Need to be saved from themselves, Scott. I mean,
They need to be safe from themselves.
And they call us the sick man of Europe. Unbelievable. What do you think, Stuart? Do you think this kind of ban will work?
Well, one of the arguments against it is that, you know, if you ban it, it's going to look more cool. You know, it's like black market kind of thing. And the cliche is that smoking looks cool. Anyway, so we need to make it uncool, don't we? So maybe make them more available, you know, cheaper. Put them everywhere. Put them at like the till at Wilkie's or something. Like, make them like an old, like you get them 2 for 1 with a tea cake or something. Or, all the iconography around smoking is like cool people, like, you know, James Dean and stuff like that. Just, you know, we need, you know, just more lame role models for smoking, like just Jeremy Vine just blasting cigs, chain smoking during his show, or like all those old movies. Edit them to take the fags out and put vapes in instead.
This could be it, just a rebrand.
Yeah, it's like when Sean Connery's in Monte Carlo and he's offering a beautiful woman a cigarette lighter. Just make it a vape. It's so much less cool. It's butterscotch flavour. Disposable. I mean, that would do the
See,
job.
already it's working. Well, obviously, we're talking about smoking here. It's the number one thing that people want to quit. But what is something that you wish that you could quit, Julia?
I've actually feel like I've given up everything. Like, I would like to give up my diet at this stage. But no, I've given up. Like, I've stopped smoking. I've stopped, drinking. I go to the gym and I do all that healthy stuff now. And I've actually realised what I need to do is start all those things again. I need to start drinking and smoking and basically be dead by the time I'm 65 because I don't have a pension, guys. And that is the only hope I have.
Tory MP Sir Simon Clarke said that banning cigarettes risked making them cooler, which is a fair point when you remember the asbestos craze of 1998. Yes, well done, Stuart and Julia. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of the trial of Donald Trump and the UK-wide smoking ban. And at the end of that round, well done. The teams are all square. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, STV News presenter John Mackay and Queen of Weather Judith Ralston. So, Stuart and Julia, what do you think John is on about here?
I'm intrigued by this. Is there an age limit? Will you have older folk chucking their bus passes out the window for the younger pals? I'd be concerned about the tunes they might use. Yeah, I don't know what to think of this one. Kebabs at 7 o'clock in the central station.
It's this daytime disco thing. It's like a club during the day.
Well done, that is a great shout. That's the right answer, Stuart, yes. A dance event for those who have neither the time nor the energy to go clubbing late at night has been held in Glasgow. Day Fever was held at the Barrowlands at the weekend and appeared to be a big hit. Organisers say they wanted to create a daytime version of the nightclubs that they had visited in their youth. Line of Duty's Vicky McClure, one of the organisers, was joined by co-stars Craig Parkinson and Martin Compson to lead the dancing. Many clubbers at Day Fever come with a whistle and a fluorescent top like they did in the 90s, although now it's because they've come straight from their shift as a lollipop lady. Great answer there, Stuart. Julia, what about this Day Fever? Do you like the sound of a daytime disco?
I do think it is weird enough, like, when you come out of the cinema in the daytime and you're like blinking in the sunlight. It's like being interrogated by God, isn't it? It's sort of a weird feeling. I wonder if it might be a bit like that. Although you could have chips and cheese for your dinner. Like, that's...
Oh, see, you brought it back now.
Yeah.
We're into it again.
Yeah.
I quite like the twist in that.
Yeah, it's also one of the reasons said it's for shift workers, which makes sense. But imagine, like, you go to that and then later on you're living your life, you hurt yourself, you're in hospital, you see a doctor and you're like, did I see you earlier with your top off singing Come On Eileen? Or in the afternoon, huh?
What do you think about this then, Athena? It's called Day Fever. Do you like the sound of a daytime disco?
The one issue I have with it is, like, normally a nightclub is a nightclub. You go, it finishes at 2, 3, maybe 4 in the morning, and you go home and you go straight to bed, right? Whereas a daytime disco is you go, you have your, however much you drink, you have a great time, and you stumble out, you get your kebab and your cheesy chips, and then you've got to pick up the kids. So I'm not sure those two things should lead, one thing should lead to the other. Don't think if I went to pick up the kids with some random guy that I've just met. Mummy, who's this? I'd be like, I don't know. Who are you? So yeah, I don't think daytime discos are going to work out for people like me.
I like how this has been presented as if it's some kind of new idea that our generation sorted out. I mean, like, the audience are having a rare tear to themselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I worked at Rutherglen Reformer, and we used to have to do Bowen Day openings, right? Now, in the Rutherglen Cambuslang area, there was 56 Bowen clubs, and they all opened at 1 o'clock on the same Saturday, right? And they all expected a photograph to be taken, right? You would often end up in some kind of housing estates Bowen club at 10 o'clock at night. They've been there since 12. You want to see the state of them, right? You wander in and it's just like Saving Private Ryan with pensioners just hanging about. And you're like, anybody got an idea with the lady pensioner? Where's the lady president? Is anybody the lady president? Where's Shona? Where's Shona? And you would find her collapsed in a washing basket, right? Oh, hold on a minute. Wait till I put my makeup on, right? She appears like Marcel Marceau's in his makeup done with Picasso, right? And that is what £1 double spirits will do for you, right?
Well done to Stuart and Julia. Right, Athena and Scott, it's your turn now. What do you think Judith is talking about here?
I think the original actor had boldly gone where no man had gone before. It's a tricky one to pull off, and even as a child, I recognise it wasn't quite right. We couldn't take any more of this.
This is about a Scottish actor called Martin Quinn, and he's been cast as Scotty, and it's going to be the first time Scotty from Star Trek is going to be played by a Scottish actor.
Absolutely
A
brilliant.
round of applause, guys. Finally.
Well done, and we love this, and it is the right answer, Athena. Yes, for the first time in almost 60 years, Star Trek character Scotty is actually going to be played by a Scottish actor. Martin Quinn is portraying a younger version of the character, giving him an authentic voice for the first time. The original Scotty, James Doohan, based his accent on a Scottish person that he had met. Unfortunately, it was John Barrowman. Oh, love that. Athena, well done for nailing that. Are you happy then to finally see a Scottish actor playing this character of Scotty?
Genuinely, I am a believer in actors portraying roles that match the identity of the character. However, there could be problems. In the taxi to this venue, and recording this in Glasgow, I did have to speak to the taxi driver. And he said, "Do you know what a healing man is?" And I went, "A healing man, like a doctor." Is that what you call doctors? I've been here loads. I was like, "A doctor?" And he went, "No, a Highland man." Right? And then he explained, he took me to the Highland Man's umbrella. And he said that people from the Highlands who were looking for work would come here and they'd stand there. And because it was covered, they called it the Highland Man's umbrella. Now, this is why we're going to need subtitles. Just a little bit.
The Heelanman's umbrella.
The Heelanman's umbrella. But genuinely thought he was talking about a doctor. And I thought he was going to take me to some shaman and give me something to smoke.
What about this then, Scott? Are you happy to finally see a Scottish actor playing Scotty?
As a Scotsman called Scott that works the performing arts, did I get as much as a phone call? I never myself. And the thing is, right, I suffered through the 80s because Star Trek they were doing all the big films, and obviously Scotty was in those films, and me in the 80s, I was being called Scott. I'd be, "Oh, beam me up, Scotty, beam me up, Scotty." I'm going to be with big toe up the.
You should have got a shout for that, Scott. What about you, Stuart, then? Are you happy to finally see a Scottish actor playing Scotty?
No. Like Scott, I'm raging because I did audition for this. And Martin Quinn, who got it, is actually a good pal of mine, and it's so annoying that it's gone to someone who is just more talented than me.
Julia, what do you make of this? Should it be a rule that only Scottish actors can play Scottish parts?
No, because that's what acting is, isn't it? It's like, you know, you don't have to be the thing to play the thing.
I think we should go even further. I think it should be broken down to like towns and cities. Like if it's a Dundonian part, they have to be Dundonian. And it would lead to some funny films, you know, like if it was like the part is like a, you know, like a 30-stone hard gangster, but he's from Aberfeldy, so it's going to have to be Alan Cumming. I'd like to say that.
Martin Quinn said the writers want the dialogue to be authentic to Scotland, meaning whenever Scotty gets beamed down, he turns to the guy operating the transporter and says, "Thanks, driver." 2 points go to Athena and Scott. You're listening to Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Athena and Scott, you're first this time. Who is this?
People want to see politicians be honest about what the problems are. I wasn't successful. I feel I was undermined. But it doesn't mean those ideas are wrong.
Ms. Liz Truss.
Liz Truss hit the headlines this week promoting her book 10 Years to Save the West. In it, Truss robustly defends her economic record, blaming the deep state, technocrats and the establishment, civil servants and the Bank of England for her downfall. The book is 100,000 words long, or 100,003 words if you include reduced to clear. Scott, you gave us the right answer. It was Liz Truss with a brand new book. Are you going to give it a read?
I'm more likely to wear a pair of barbed wire knickers, to be quite frank. Do you know what I mean?
Stuart, what about you then? This is Liz Truss in the news again this week. She's got a new book out. Will you read the book?
Of course not. Of course not. I don't even read books I want to read. On my bedside table for months now, I've got Sir Alex Ferguson's autobiography. He managed Man United between 1986 and 2013, which is 9,691 days in total. And to put that in context, that is 9,641 days longer than Liz Truss was PM. And his book's only like 50 pages longer, by the way.
What about you then? Liz Truss back in the news, Julia. Will you read her book?
Absolutely not. It would be like reading the biography of one of the sort of Britain's Got Talent contestants that went out in the audition stages. You know, one of the ones that they only put in for like entertainment value. And I speak as someone who went out of BGT in the early stage.
Well, within the book, obviously Liz says that she was stitched up by a bunch of people. Does anybody buy this theory? Athena, do you go along with the theory that Liz Truss was stitched up?
There's one theory that she hasn't tested, that she was stitched up by the Queen. Who met her and thought, you know what, I hate this woman so much. I'm just going to check out now and I'm going to ruin her premiership.
She's bloody lucky the Queen did die. Because how short would her term have been, right? Because the Queen's death and funeral was a good 3 weeks of that, 49 days.
Liz Truss's book is called 10 Years to Save the West. But if you were going to write a book about your life, what would it be called and why?
Oh, I wouldn't do that because it'd have my name on it and I don't like to declare my income. I'd have to just make up a random person.
Scott, what about you? If you were going to write a book about your life, what would it be called and why?
I think I'd just a wee play in an old Tony Christie song, Up the Agnew and Alleyways.
If you were going to write a book about your life, what would it be called and why?
Well, I'm not successful enough to have an autobiography, so I'd be worried about sales. So with that in mind, I'd call my book 1,000 Quick and Easy Air Fryer Recipes.
Buy that, wouldn't we? We'd buy it. Yes, there we go. Well done to Athena and Scott. It was, of course, Liz Truss. 2 points to you. Right, Stuart and Julia, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
I could make decisions on hundreds of shows being commissioned without really needing a committee to sign off on things.
Eric Barmack, I think his name is, he was looking to invest in Motherwell Football Club.
Eric Barmack is indeed the answer. The former Netflix boss. Well done, Stuart. He's in the news as he is set to acquire a stake in Motherwell FC, reminiscent of Wellside Wrexham's rise to Hollywood fame with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Motherwell published a light-hearted video aimed at attracting Hollywood investment earlier in the year. Now the former Netflix vice president and his wife Courtney are in advanced talks with the club. Would you welcome this kind of investment into Scottish football, Stuart?
Yeah, I want to see more of it. You know, like billionaires are competitive, aren't they? So if you've got like Netflix own Motherwell, and then you can get like Jeff Bezos, he buys Airdrie. And then it's just like Scotland just becomes like the new what the MLS was, and then the Saudi leagues, and it's just like got like fat Ronaldo and Messi just stoating about eating pies, still like weaving in and out of everyone. But there's a hoarding behind them that says Clifton Skip Hire. You know, I'd love to see it. Yeah.
I think that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
I'm actually thinking of reinventing myself as a Scottish football club just to get some interest from Netflix. You know?
What about this then, Athena? Do you welcome this kind of investment into Scottish football?
I think it's a brilliant thing, and I have to be honest, I know nothing about Motherwell Football Club. However, I do know I'd be more interested in watching their wags.
You kind of look at the level of investment we've got. I mean, a couple of years ago, I remember the League Cup final at Hampden, and the advertising hoardings at the League Cup final, a showpiece final, right? It was for a hydroponics centre, right? A debt consolidation service, right? Bankruptcy, trust deeds, and a criminal lawyers, right? You go, there's a kind of running theme here, right?
Let's say you had the money. If you could invest in anything, what would you invest in and why?
Well, if I was to get involved in sport, I was watching the Grand National at the weekend there, and you know, I'm not a big horse racing fan, but like, you know, I also, you know, I don't hate it the way some people do. I get that it's cruel, so I'd like to just make it nicer for everyone. So it's just like, rather than on the speed of the horse and hurting the horse, it's just just like, what was the nicest horse? It's like Crufts. You know, then everyone can enjoy it, you know? It's like, you know, it'd be nice.
Julia, what about you? What would you invest in and why?
Apple, 1984, no question.
A Netflix series about Motherwell will be the most focus there's been on a Lanarkshire town since they did that musical about Hamilton. I've not seen it. Is it any good? Yes, Eric Barmack is the right answer. Well done, and 2 points go to Stuart and Julia. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, there we go. It's our pal Liz Truss there, reviewing her own book. Right, teams, here we go. Fingers on buzzers. 6.5% of airline pilots are what? Athena.
Flat earthers.
6.5% of airline pilots are what? Julia.
Just in it for the air miles.
6.5% of airline pilots are what? Stuart.
Just sticking their arms out and running around.
Mum, I'm doing it. 6.5% of airline pilots are what? Scott.
Prepared to man a Glasgow flight to Palma at the fair fortnight.
There's nowhere near that many are brave enough, Scott. And I can give you the answer. Quite shameful. 6.5% only of airline pilots are women.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, there's our klaxon. Liz has trust. It means it's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Stuart McPherson and Julia Sutherland. And commiserations to Athena Cook-Blenu and Scott Agnew. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. Sesame Street writers have unanimously voted to support strike action should a deal not be reached after 2 months of negotiations over pay and union coverage. Bosses said if the writers didn't like the pay offer, then the next episode would be brought to them by the letter P and the number 45. The Italian fashion designer Roberto Cavalli has sadly died at the age of 83. Paul bearers carried the coffin to its final resting place before posing and carrying it back again. And Scotland's Sports Minister Marie Todd has said she is like an excited puppy at the prospect of Glasgow hosting the Commonwealth Games again. This explains the Minister's trip to the Women's Six Nations last weekend, where she was left tied to some railings outside the stadium. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!